All right, you guys, welcome back to the channel. Kyle Lavelle once more. Go ahead and smash that subscribe button as I bring you vital information and just overall what's going on in the Bay Area. This one hits home. As you guys know, I'm in the Bay Area, the East Bay specifically. And let's check at these stats because $100K a year is now considered low income in the Bay Area, which is crazy, right? It's crazy. $100K a year, the average person doesn't even make that. I think like the top 5% maybe make that. So let's see what our local news source tells us.
A new report is helping explain why it can be so hard to make it here in the Bay. New numbers show that in nearly half of the Bay Area, you can make over $100,000 a year and still be considered low income. NBC Bears Ian Cole explains.
New information from the state shows in Marin, San Mateo, San Francisco, and Santa Clara counties, a single person can...
Okay, I'm gonna interrupt real quick. So check this out. Look at all the counties. There's one county missing on there. In this area right here, it's in the pink to the north. They didn't add Solano County on there, so they don't consider Solano County the Bay Area. Mind you, I grew up in Vallejo, and that is part of the Bay Area. I mean, there's a freaking waterfront, for crying out loud. And there's a ferry that goes from Vallejo to San Francisco and other parts of the Bay Area. So really, that's retarded. But to be honest with you, that's the lowest cost of living ratio in that area, Solano County. Not unless you live in Benicia, which is expensive as hell, which was once actually served the capital of California, but they failed to build a place to hold the capital. They failed to build a Capitol building, so they put it in Sacramento. So, on with the story.
Be making over six figures and still be classified as low income. Nowhere is that more pronounced than in Santa Clara County, where people making under $111,700 a year are now defined as low income.
That's crazy. And this is by person, not family, not a household. This is just one individual.
If you make $111,000 a year, it's like you'll still have a hard time getting a spot here.
The number might be eye-popping to people outside the state, but some San Jose residents we spoke to say it's not that surprising when looking at local housing prices.
Like people are starting to have to live outside, live into different areas like Hollister and Los Banos just to be able to make it even. And, you know, buying a house is next to impossible. You know, I'm a college student, I'm working, and I can barely even afford to live here.
Kayla Guerrero was in the South Bay visiting family today, but moved away due to the high cost of living.
I made the decision to leave to a different county, to Placer County, and it's been a great experience. However, I'm away from family and friends and just everything that I knew as I was growing up.
It has gotten to the point where we're all affected, and we all know someone who could benefit from housing being more affordable.
Silicon Valley at Home advocates for more affordable housing in the region. They say for every affordable housing unit that goes on the market, the owners see at least 10 applications. The executive director says these new income numbers are proof more affordable homes need to be built now.
What?
Yeah, but see, the problem with affordable homes is people that have been longtime homeowners in established neighborhoods, they don't want these lower income neighborhoods next to them because it brings down their property values, especially if this comes in there. Not even being funny. When black people move in the neighborhood, it lowers the home values, and that's why everybody gets upset. So it's not always a racial issue. It's always the issue of who you're living next to, the community next to you.
What that number really means is that, yes, the wealth is being generated, and there's still a lot of work to do to make sure that there's enough homes so that everyone can afford to live here.
She says the state's regional housing needs assessment that mandates cities build more housing has helped. The Santa Clara County Housing Authority told us while some households at the low-income level may qualify for state or local programs, they typically do not meet the eligibility criteria for our federal housing programs, which are targeted to very low-income households and below.
Yeah, that's crazy. And look at this. These small spaces, people have with families, this ain't gonna work.
Showing yet again just how hard it is to make it in the Bay.
Even with two incomes, it's still hard. Two incomes, a couple kids, a couple car payments, and it just all drains away.
And that's one thing people aren't doing anymore is having kids. If they are, it's not planned, and the mother usually ends up being a single mother and on government assistance. Those are the only people that could afford to live in the Bay Area. people that are living off of government assistance because they have a cushion. So,
And rent keeps going up.
Ian Cole, NBC Bay Area News.
so yeah, that's interesting, you guys. So it's like, really, what's the solution to it? Because it's even a struggle for the tech bros. San Jose, which is the Silicon Valley, Santa Clara, all that whole area is just expensive for no reason now because a lot of those tech companies moved out of the Bay Area. But it still leaves the same problem. That's not going to make the rents and the real estate go down. So the solution is have about 5 to 10 roommates in the house. As ridiculous as that sounds, but this is a short clip. But this is no surprise, though. It's been like this for the last 10, 15 years, since the tech boom. Since Facebook, that whole Meta group, Google, Apple, just the whole rise of that all. It all came up together. This is Kai DeVale. Hope you learned something. See you in the next video. Peace.